stress turns into contemplation, respect instead of resistance, not because you fought for your value, but because your soul kept in line. That's a sign of heavenly maturity. That's how heaven knows who its messengers are. Yes, there will still be days when you feel like no one understands you and you are alone, but those who travel with a divine purpose will only be lonely for a short time, because God is bringing other people into line with the same frequency sooner than you realize. People who can see your depth without needing to translate it will not compete with your brightness. They will keep it safe. The fact is that your strength is not in reacting, but in holding back. So, the next time you go into a public place and feel that peculiar energy building again, keep this in mind. You are not entering their space. They are coming into your space. Your spirit was made for this very point in time. That's how the world works. You are proof that heavenly light is still alive on earth. So hold your head up, walk straight, and let your presence speak louder than words. Because when God changed your energy, He didn't simply change how others saw you. He was influencing how people feel when they saw you. If you'd want to sit in this similar tranquility for a little longer before you go, I've made a spot for you to do so. My second channel is called Simplified Serenity. It has worship music that is good for prayer, meditation, and being still. A peaceful place for your heart to relax, breathe, and talk to God. Just touch the playlist on your screen. I'd love to see you there. Hello, my buddy. Welcome. If you're here, you already know that God didn't bring you to this planet without anything. You have a purpose in your spirit that is so particular and so perfectly designed by God that you can't always describe it. And the fact is that having that type of purpose is hard. Not everything is wonderful and miraculous. Sometimes it's perplexity, loneliness, and having to keep changing things. When heaven chooses you to carry light in a world that tries to dull it, your whole life becomes a lesson. Dear chosen one, the heaviness you experience in everyday locations is something special. You can't go through life without being seen, not because you want to stand out, but because your energy can't be hidden. God didn't make you hard to see. He made you evidence that doing the right thing still works. That's why it might sometimes seem unusual to go through a shop, sit at a cafe, or wait in line, like people know you're there without looking at you. Like eyes dart toward you and then away too soon. It's like your presence awakens up something in them that they can't identify. And you could have asked yourself, why does it feel like everyone is looking at me? Why do I feel stress that isn't mine? Here's what is truly going on. Both in the spirit and in the body, your field has grown spiritually. Your frequency goes up as God turns on a new layer of your mission. You begin to vibrate on a wavelength that sends messages before you ever say anything. But there's also something more that even science silently agrees on. Behavioral psychology studies reveal that people may pick up on microexpressions, tone, and even subtle energy signals from other people in less than a second. To put it simply, our bodies can sense each other's energy long before our brains can. So, when you go into a room, the nervous systems of the individuals in it are the first to notice you. They aren't criticizing you. Their bodies are just catching up with your soul. And here's the twist. Your energies doesn't mix as it used to. It is now cleaner, stronger, and crisper. That brings out other people's secret feelings, such fear, jealousy, desire, and uncertainty, without warning. So, if you feel uneasy tension in public that isn't social anxiety, it's something more. Your frequency is pushing against theirs, which makes what isn't spoken clear. You could see someone being nicer than normal, talking quicker, or laughing too loudly. That's not them being phony. Their body is striving to match your vibe. Or someone can stop talking in the middle of a discussion and not look you in the eye. That's not being rude. It doesn't know how to respond to you. Your presence brings out the elements of them that they've tried to hide. Dear chosen one, you have a way of bringing out the truth in others. And it's not simple for them or for you because you're always reading a room that doesn't even know it's talking. You sense tiredness that isn't yours. You take on feelings that were never yours to repair. And when you get home, you can't explain why your body feels like it just ran a marathon. That's the price of divine purpose that you can't see. God gave you a sensitivity that most people would not be able to handle. He kept your soul open in a world that is always shutting. You can see what others can't. You can sense what isn't expressed. You can feel the fights going on beneath polite grins. And that's the hard part, along with the warmth of feeling God within you, recognizing beauty in little things, and finding calm when others only look for miracles. But being sensitive doesn't mean you're weak. It's a plan from God. Heaven doesn't send a healer into a throng with thunder. It comes disguised as caring. People are confused by how much you care. They don't know why they feel both comfortable and anxious with you. Safe because your spirit makes others think about God. Uncomfortable since your spirit also reminds them of what they've been trying to avoid. That's the strange situation you find yourself in. You don't have to attempt to console and convict, but I need you to get this. It's not a clue that you're doing anything wrong when you feel uneasy in public. It proves that you are one of a kind. It shows that your spiritual identity is no longer tied to a certain place. You used to only have an effect on things that were close to you. Your presence now shines. It goes through the air. You change frequencies without saying anything. That's why people look twice at strangers. That's why some individuals seem distant or too close. You're making them aware of something deep within them, not in their thinking. You never merely walked past crowds. You were doing your homework while pretending to be someone else. So if you come into a room and your chest tightens for no reason, stop for a moment. Don't call it anxiety. Spirit, what am I picking up right now? God sometimes lets you sense the environment so you can clean it up just by being there. You aren't taking in the energy. You are fixing it. You were never supposed to go unseen. My dear buddy, you were designed to show the world that the divine is still present in everyday life. Even if no one ever calls it that, every step you take in public is a ministry. That's why people respond. Their eyeballs become bigger. Their words don't come out right. Their energy changes. They can't see you. They see the God who sent you. So, the next time you feel that weird, almost electric discomfort when you're with other people, remember that it's not anything wrong with you. It comes from you and is correct. The world knows what heaven already knows. They are merely attempting to catch up with your energy, which has been reset for a reason. I'm sure you've asked this question many times by now. What do I do to deal with it? How do I navigate through the cacophony of the world without letting it take away what God put in me? This gift, this heightened sensitivity, isn't designed to make you feel alone. It's supposed to teach you. God doesn't want you to stay away from others. He's showing you how to change them without losing yourself. Dear selected one, the idea is not to make your heart hard. It's to make your spirit stronger. You don't need walls that are thicker. You need to dig deeper. You don't respond to every little thing that happens around you when your roots are deep in God. You turn into a tree next to calm water. The roots never move, even when the wind shakes the branches. That's you right now, grounded, unshaken, learning to let the storm flow through you instead of into you. This is how you keep your peace. You are alert, not afraid. You feel energy, but you don't take it in. You know there is tension, but you don't let it get to you. Because not every pain needs a response. Sometimes all you need to do is notice them. Sometimes all you need to do is take calm, deep breaths and realize that you're not the turmoil you're feeling. You are the peace that came in. That's what it looks like to walk with heavenly might. Not always loud or easy to see, but always steady, focused, and concentrated. You need to know something about spiritual presence. Even before they know what it is, people feel at ease. So when you remain calm when everyone else is hurrying, when you smile without saying why, and when you walk with quiet confidence, the mood changes. That's purpose manifesting itself in the real world. God put you in a location where you may show that stability still exists in unstable areas. So don't dispute it when you go into a place and sense things change. Let it happen. There are enough entertainers in the world. It has to be there. And your presence is a sign of things to come. You don't have to say it, just do it. Every time you forgive instead of getting back at someone, you send forth a message from heaven that is louder than words. And every time you choose love over hate, you stop the enemy's noise without saying a word. Dear chosen one, this is why God let you experience so much, so you might learn to see things through love instead of fear. You were never supposed to feel numb. You were expected to be able to tell the difference. It's not the same thing to carry light and to perform light. Light performance strives to persuade the room. Carrying light changes it. You don't have to grin all the time. You don't have to be flawless. You simply have to be authentic. Because true light doesn't act, it gives out light. And if you ever become tired of this job, remember that every vessel of light needs space occasionally. Not to go away from others, but to reconnect with the source that gives you energy. It's okay to pull back. It's spiritual upkeep. When the world becomes too much for you, take a step back and pray. Let stillness bring you back to life. When you're alone, let it remind you of who you are. The best way to keep your energy clean is to continually going back to the person who provided it to you. And when you do, you'll see something strong. When you go into the same rooms that used to drain you, they will seem lighter since you won't be worried about how they would respond. You will know who sent you when you come in. That's when confidence changes from being about performance to being about being there. You will see it in their eyes. Calmness coming from confusion.